name is Rachel.
And I'm Liv. And this is Shoes Off, Mics On, the podcast where we talk about our journey, and I'll start here.
Yay!
Yay! Today we're going to talk about something a little different. We're going to kind of talk basically from, like, the outside perspective, like, not as an athlete or a coach, but as, like, a judge and a parent. Just kind of stepping into their shoes, kind of maybe to help some parents out there if their kid is struggling or feeling the stress, or maybe how to be a supportive parent if you're entering All-Star Cheer and it's your first, like, comp season coming up and you don't know how to navigate, like, being there for them in this stressful sport. So that's what we're talking about today.
Yippee!
Yay. Okay. Do you think judging is more objective or subjective?
Objective is a fact-based, can be proven true or false, not influenced by personal feelings. Example, the Eiffel Tower is in Paris.
Right.
Subjective, opinion-based, depends on personal feelings or thoughts or experiences. Example, the Eiffel Tower is beautiful. That's pretty simple.
Yeah. I think it's a little bit of both. I think there's certain parts of the score sheet that are subjective, like pyramids, for example. Like, because you have a range of a score from like 3.5 to 4 is the high range.
Yeah.
So it's like what puts you in that range is, it has to be subjective because they're basing it off of your competition. So it's kind of like what they think is like maxing out on the difficulty and technique and stuff.
Yeah.
But
I think also dance is kind of the same way.
Agreed.
Like, obviously there's things that like we do, like using the floor and like having a combination of floor work and like standing and arms and legs and all the stuff like that. But when it like comes down to like the very small, like, how many points is dance out of?
4, if you, I think, or 3.
Whatever it's out of. It comes down to like the 0.1s, 0.2s, like maxing out.
Oh, I think it's 2. I don't know.
Out of 2?
It's 2.
So like if you get like a 1.8,
Yeah.
You know, the next comp you could get a 2. You know, kind of depends on who's watching and how much they really enjoy your routine. And a lot of judges will also write that on the score sheet. If there's something they really like, they'll be like, really love this part. And it usually, that comment is reflective of the score they give you. Versus like if you get like not a bad score, but like a lower score, like a 1.7 instead of a 2. I don't know necessarily that there would be a comment tied that said, love your dance. Yeah. And then they don't give you that 0.3.
I think the objective parts is like tumbling drivers. Like, if you do,
like, did you do this?
Did
yes
you do?
Or no?
10 people did that pass. Cool.
Yeah.
You get max difficulty for that.
Right.
So it's like there's definitely certain parts that are objective and subjective, and there's also some comps too where you're kind of like, okay, I know NCAA scores harder on like tech and kind of that
comps,
stuff, but and like I don't know. I think it definitely.
Or like Summit's the same way, I think. Obviously, they score a little bit harder over there.
Yeah.
As they should. But, yeah, same thing for them.
Yeah. If you were a judge, what on the score sheet would you score the highest? Like stunts, tumbling, dance, jumps?
Score, like, the hardest?
The highest. So, like, what would be, like, the main part of your score?
Oh, I think it should come from stunting, because I think stunting is what makes cheer so different from other sports and other, like, dance, gymnastics, acro, stunt. Oh, I guess stunt is stunting, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I think it, like, really separates us, so I think stunts is really important, and I feel like not only just doing the skills, but how you do the skills.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of teams that just, like, even when I was starting cheer, we would literally just, like, chuck stunts in the air. Like, were they level appropriate? I don't know. Were they hitting to the top, or were they, like, here? I don't know. But, like, getting points for things that, like, you didn't fully execute is, like, I don't know. It kind of defeats the purpose of, like, scoring that section.
Yeah.
If it's not being scored right. Tumbling, I feel like, is pretty obvious. Like, I don't know. Were you on time? Were your legs together? Was your placement correct? Things like that. But I feel like stunting is very specific.
Yeah.
And I think it should be judged as specific.
Yeah. No further comment. I fully agree.
Great.
Should we get more feedback from a judge and from judges than just the score sheet?
I would like more feedback.
Yeah.
I think it would help a lot of coaches and a lot of teams if we got feedback, because I feel like a lot of the time we go to AccuScore and we're like, we got 0.3 off, or we got whatever off, or a deduction for this. Why? What can we make better?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like there isn't always a clear answer. Sometimes it's just like, I can't remember what we went to AccuScore for that one time. There was something that we got something deducted off of, and we're like, what can we do? And he's like, oh, I can't tell you what you can do to fix it. What was it? It was that one guy.
Was it the one when we went and they were like, oh, well, you did this at USA, so, and you got called on it?
Yeah, and I was
and
like,
we didn't.
Because if we did, we would have fixed it. And he was like, I don't know, it's in our system. And I was like, that's really weird because we didn't get it on the score sheet. And then I was like, well, why wouldn't we get it on the score sheet? And I can't remember what he said, but basically what I was trying to get at was like, what was the mistake?
Yeah.
Because it wasn't clear what the deduction or what the mistake was for. And because we had gotten it before, he wouldn't give us like a clear answer of how we can change it to not get the deduction again.
Mm-hmm.
It was like basically because we'd gotten it twice, allegedly. So that was just a little bit frustrating. But I think overall on the score sheet, not only with deductions, but just like overall sections, like standing tumbling, running tumbling, they could just be like 0.3 deducted because your legs are apart. Because of this. If, legs together equals more points. Which I know some of it's like pretty obvious, but sometimes you do all that and you still don't get the points. So I think just an explanation of, I don't know, a clarification.
Yeah.
I think is simply
just more clear. I know, but I also do know that like they're watching so many routines in a day. They don't have as much time to put out that clarification.
And they have like auto comments.
But yeah, or honestly with AI, I could see that happening within the next few years.
That's true.
Like they could speak into it and tell AI what to type out.
You know how dance competitions, they literally
talking to a mic.
There's two judges, or there's a panel of judges, but there's like people that do the score, the paperwork portion. They're typing and they're putting in the scores, and then there's one lady who just sits there and she just watches, and you get a video or an audio back, and she's just talking about your routine as you're doing it. And I think that Cheer should do that, so we don't have to keep going back to every single video.
Yeah.
And be like, this comment was at 2:16, go to 2:16 and like see. But if someone was just like actively as we were performing telling us in the moment, plus it's different than like going back and you rewatch it and you see new things, or you don't see what you saw when you watched it. So. Cheerleading, let's get on that.
I know, that's actually
I'm bringing that up in a board meeting.
Yeah.
Put me on the board. What is one of the funniest cheer parent moments you have witnessed at a comp or at like a practice or a cheer event?
I think it's funny. It's not like a specific story, and this goes for both like parents and coaches, but I think it's funny at the very end of like a really long day when we're all so delusional, tired. You just like walk by someone and you're just like, huh? Like you don't even like say a word. You're just like drained.
You just look at someone and they know how you feel. Do parents feel more pressure than the athletes?
I think in some aspects, yes, because they're like spending thousands and thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
And it's like you want it to be worth it.
Yeah.
But you also want your kids to like have fun.
But you don't want to push your kids because you want your money to be, or to be worth it.
But then you also don't want to like not push your kids because you want to like
it to be worth it.
Yeah, you want them to like achieve their goals.
Yeah. Agreed.
So
fully agreed. What is one thing you wish parents knew about comp days?
When something happens or like there's a fall or a bobble or like anything happens on stage that like obviously no one ever wants to happen, like it's really not the end of the world, and like don't feed into your kids and like the other parents and people like thinking it's the end of the world and like gossiping and being, oh, it was this kid's fault, like she dropped my kid, or she touchdown, she can't even do that pass. Like you don't see all the kids, all the hours they put in the week and like how much hard work goes into what they're doing, where like you can never predict what's gonna happen. So then like when a mistake happens, like we're just shocked as you are. So it's like you can't start playing the blame game. Like we're coaches, that's our job to figure out what happened, and like sometimes we can't even figure out what happened.
Well, usually especially if it's stunts, it's usually a collective issue. It's not usually like one person. Usually it's like, all of them could have done something differently.
Yeah. So it's just there's no point to do that. It makes your kid more sad. It stresses out the coaches. Like mistakes happen and they're inevitable. Like that's life. Yeah. So it's just like be there for your kid. Like you'll get them tomorrow or next
Yeah.
comp. Like, it's not the, like, don't make it the end of the world and, like, feed into that because it really doesn't help anything.
No. And I think the kids are already feeling, you know, upset enough that, or maybe if they think it was their fault, they're already themselves being like, oh, like, my whole team is going to hate me.
Yeah.
Like, they already feel that. So, like, having the parents now fighting or a parent now, like, I don't know, causing more drama or whatever, I think it obviously is just going to do more harm.
Yeah.
And at that point, it's too late. Like,
There's nothing you can do.
You can't go back. So, like, just don't, you know,
Just be there
try
for
your
your
best to
kid.
not have it happen the next day, you know,
Yeah.
things like that. But
And be there for, like, the other kids, too. Like, if there's a kid on the team that, like, she's not your kid, but they fell, like, be there for them. Like, that's, like, it's, like you said, like, they already feel like everyone hates them, everyone's mad at them. So, like, to be giving the side eye and to be like, well, she can never hit that pass. Well, Miss Susie, she actually has hit her pass every single practice. And little do you know, she has the flu, but she's still competing. Like,
right.
Like, you never
other
know
little
what goes
factors.
into it.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
which has more influence on an athlete, a parent's reaction or judge's comments?
I think a parent's reaction has the initial, what was the word you used? The initial influence, just because it's the first thing. They're going to get to the parent before they get to the judge, or before they get the score sheet. And also the judges their job is not to, like,
Pick out the
coddle.
exact.
Well, no, I think the judges, they're not there to, like, be like, oh, you know, your stunt may have fallen and your tumbling maybe looked terrible, but you know what? You guys tried really hard, so you get first place. You know, like, but judges are just known, like, the environment of a judge is that they are picky and they are not always going to give you 10 out of 10 on your score sheet. They're not going to get, you know, everything that you want, and you have to work really hard to impress them. But, like, a parent is, like, you kind of expect them to always be there for you, and you expect them to, you know, if something happens and it's bad, you know the judges are going to point it out.
Yeah.
But you don't necessarily need the parent to point it out as well.
Yeah.
They obviously saw it. They know what happened.
I think when you get older, it's better to get off the stage as like a senior and be like, oh, was our tumbling on time? Like, stuff like that. But, like, when you get off the stage and, like, obviously a stunt fell or something, especially in that, like, junior and under, it's kind of like, just say, like, it's okay. Like, be there for them. Don't be like, so what happened in your stunt? Like, and like you said, like, it definitely comes from the parent first because they already know the judge is going to comment on it and you're going to get a deduction for it. Like, to have your mom or dad sit there and be like, you shouldn't have messed up. Like, that does not help at all.
No, not at all.
So, if there was a world where athletes got parent feedback and judge feedback, how different would they look and, like, what would they look like? Like, if the parents basically handed a score sheet to us, like, what do you think the parent score sheet would look like?
I think the parent score sheet would have 2 categories. I think the first category would be, I don't even know. Because I feel like different parents look at different things. Like,
yes,
we're going to go with the moms for now because I don't know enough dads that are, like, into the score sheet like that. Although I know there are a bunch out there. But anyways, I feel like it would be, for the younger teams, how cute were they? And how much did they smile? And I think for the older teams, how cool were their tricks?
Yeah.
And how synchronized were they? I feel like that's, like, when at least for my mom, she wasn't, like, really involved with, like, the score sheet or anything like that. She just showed up and cheered us on, and then, like, that was that. But whenever we would be in a place where there was world teams or higher level teams, she'd be like, wow, like, it's just mesmerizing. Mesmerizing? Huh?
Right.
Mesmerizing.
Mesmerizing.
It's
This is
mesmerizing.
like cinnamon all over again.
Did that make it in the video?
Yeah.
Okay. Mesmerizing. The team was, and they're like, they're so synchronized, like, everything, they all just look the same, and that's, like, to me, that's their first category. And then I forgot the other one was.
A judge. I mean, obviously.
How cool their tricks were.
Yeah.
Because I feel like a lot of parents don't know the names of their skills, so they'd be like, wow, that trick they did when they flipped over.
Yeah,
was
like, they
so
don't know what, like, an
cool.
Arabian is.
Yeah. But obviously, I don't think they would. I mean, maybe they'd have like a scale 1 to 10, but like they wouldn't know how to take off a 0.1 or a 0.2 for execution and timing and stuff like that.
I think they'd have too much heart in it. I think they'd be like, I feel too bad. Like when something fell, it wouldn't be like, take a point away. It'd be like, do better next time.
Yeah, or like they'd be like, oh, like if it's not their kid on stage, it'd be like, oh, but like what if that was my, or like if a stunt fell, what if that was my kid? You know, they'd be like, but they tried, you know. I don't think they could separate the, like, they're just kids from the, like, it's a sport. You have to, you know, score them accordingly. Yeah, I think it would be more from the heart if it was the parents. But that's fine. We don't expect the judges to be from the heart. No. The judges are just doing their job. Yeah. So they're doing what they're told.
Do you think either group, parents or judges, sometimes forget the number one goal, which is have fun? I think judges don't think about that. They're doing their job.
I don't think they think about it for junior and senior teams.
No.
Because I think minis, obviously, tinies, obviously, youth. We got a couple comments last year that were like, we love, like, how you look like you're all having so much fun doing your routine. So, like, I think there is, like, a thought about it. But when you get to, like, a senior age, I don't even know that the athletes are thinking about having fun at that point. It's, like, it gets so competitive that it's all about how you do. And if that takes away from having fun, that takes away from having fun. So I think that athletes also lose sight of it, but I think judges 100%. But also, I don't know that it was ever really on their radar of, like, obviously, if you look like you're having fun, you're going to get a higher performance score, I think. Most likely. Yeah, I'm not a judge, but I'd like to hope that if you're having fun, you know, you're smiling, you're performing, more fun to watch, you're more engaged with the audience and the judges. But, yeah, I don't really know that the judges, it's not like a category on a score sheet. So, and I think that they're pretty, you know, one category next. They got things to get through, and I don't know that having fun is, like, on their list of priorities.
Yeah.
Was there ever a time that you felt that your score didn't match the routine that was performed? Like, either that you were in or that you coached or that you saw?
It was that lady.
Feel free to share.
It was that lady Ayers year. But I already kind of shared about that. And they did mess up the score. Like, we had to go to AccuScore and get it fixed. But even after that, it was kind of just like, some of this stuff just doesn't match.
Yeah.
Like, but other than that year, I
would say every single time we go to Summit.
Yeah, I would say that.
But not that it didn't match the routine, that it just didn't match the scores we've been getting all season.
Yeah.
For every team, which, I mean,
I think also,
sense, I guess, but
I will say for this year, it was really cool. And it was great. But at our second comp last year for Crown Jewels, literally in December, we'd gotten almost a 98 at our second comp. And, like, not saying our kids didn't deserve it, but it was kind of crazy to see, like, that, like, open our score sheet. On our second comp, you're usually expecting 96, 97. Like,
well, so here's the thing. Okay, so at the same competition, another team in our program, did they score 99?
No, they almost did.
They almost scored. I think it was, like, a 98.9.
Yeah, it was a 98.9.
Like a 98.9. Which, they did very good.
Yeah.
But to be getting almost a 99 at the second competition, for some
programs,
crazy. The first competition of this is our first 2-day comp.
Yes.
As well. We'd only done one-day comp in November before that. Was just, like, crazy. But it's also, like, you don't want to get your hopes up for the whole season.
Exactly.
Because, like, you score 99 at your first comp or a 98 at your first comp, and then it's like, if you don't get that at the following competitions, you're kind of like, what the heck?
Yeah.
You know?
And I think also I was, like, talking to my friend about it, too, and he was like, do not be married to those scores because that is not realistic. Like, love you so much, your kids are great, but, like, that is not a 99 summit, for us, like, 98 summit routine.
Yeah.
Like, that's great, and, like, they did do well, and they absolutely deserved what they were given, but, like, just seeing that was, like, kind of shocking.
Yeah.
Like,
I think that early in the season is just shocking for anyone.
Yeah. Like I'd take it. Like, I'm not, like...
Yeah, I will happily say we almost got a 98.
But, like, when I think of, like, a 98 routine or a 99 routine, I'm thinking, like, there's little to none
Yeah, like, you're watching and you're having a hard time picking apart.
Yeah, and at that point in the season, like, we are still, like, cleaning things up and making things better, which is good. Like, I'd rather have a routine that grows, but it was a little crazy to be like...
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay, well.
Well, that was our short episode.
This might be the shortest episode we've ever made, which is fun. We were straight to the point.
I think parents are getting a better grasp of, like,
how to support
taking a step back. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think it comes a lot from coaches communicating that. Like, if you're a coach that's, like, silent, your parents aren't going to know you don't want them to do the X, Y, and Z.
Right.
Like,
right. Or that it's not helpful.
Yeah.
Also, I think talking about it for coaches, like, when you have that first parent meeting of the season.
Yes. And
you're, like, going over, like, the team, like, guidelines and rules and, like, what you expect and things like that. I think also having an expectation for parents.
A friend.
I don't think Kyle has ever been in an episode.
Hello. We also tell our parents, like, we are the coaches. We will guide your kids in the right way. And, like, if you have a problem with it or the way we're doing it, like, please just communicate that. Don't start a ruckus. I think the daylight makes us go faster.
Yeah, because I'm not feeling sleepy. That's why.
I know. I think when I'm tired, I just start to, like,
slide down. Okay.
I know.
Yeah.
Okay, listeners. Do you think judging is fair? Let us know in the comments below.
What's your funniest parent moment at a competition?
We'd love to know.
Or coaches. We love a funny coaches story.
Yes, we do. Yeah. Make sure to follow us on all social media. We're on Instagram and TikTok. And listen on all streaming platforms. Watch the video on YouTube to see Rachel's lovely cats.
Yes, my lovely cats. And our cute candle.
Yes.
And my cute shirt. My shirt is
Snoopy.
On it. For those.
Mine's Luke Combs.
For those Snoopy fans out there. It's what?
Luke Combs. All right. We'll see you next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.